short stick. We're gonna hold it a good hand width from the bottom, all right? Because we strike with the butt end and we hook with the butt end, right? We do takedowns like that. Come here, Keith. So if Keith does like a number 2 at me, right? I can move in here like this. See how I hooked his hand? And I got back pressure and I can do a shoulder circle takedown.
Come around, come around.
So you see how I've got him hooked?
Go.
So that's what I mean by hooking with the bottom end of it, okay? So that's why you want to choke up. You need enough sticking out here that you can do that kind of thing with it.
Can you,
all right?
Can you do that one more time?
Sure.
Yeah. So he's throwing a 2 and you catch it.
Right, yep. Okay, now a lot of times, you know, we do this, right? There's a 2, wham! But then I'm gonna do a different, because if I hit his hand, it's not gonna be there for me to hook it. Right? But usually when we're doing stuff, the first thing we do is hit the hand or the arm somewhere that's holding the weapon, hopefully to make him drop that weapon, okay? But in that instance, if you're gonna do this one, you don't wanna hit that hand because that's not gonna be there for you to hook if you do, okay? I do something else like, we call that the Y takedown. So he does that number 2, I hit, and I move in, and I'm pushing on this side with my forearm, and I'm squeezing back on that side with the other side of the stick. So see how it creates a Y, okay? And you take them down with that. So you squeeze, my hand's under his chin, goes up, down, and hit. Okay? All right. Anyway, that's why you're choking up on it like this. Okay? 13 angles of attack. Okay? That we use. 13 angles of attack. We're going to go through those. All right? We're going to do it from a static position. So in other words, after each strike, I want you to come back with the stick in front of your shoulder like this. All right?
No, how are you coming?
Okay? And then after you get proficient doing it from the static position, then you do the flow. Okay? So I'm going to give you an example of both real quick. Okay? So the static is this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's static. And notice each time I came here, right? The flow, you don't do that. You don't stop. Okay? The flow does this. Okay, so one strike flows right into the next strike, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right? That comes after you get the static position down. Block check after that is the next progression. All right? Okay? So I'm going to feed. In other words, I'm going to be the attacker. He's going to do the block check. We're just going to do like the first 4. Okay? 1 blocks a 1, 2 blocks a 2, 1 blocks a 3, 2 blocks a 4. All right? Okay? Just slow. Okay? So when you feed or attack, it's important that you do it correctly. In other words, if I go to swing at him and I do this, that's short stroking it. I'm trying to hit his stick. You're not. If you're the attacker, you're not trying to hit his stick. You should be trying to hit him. Okay? It's his responsibility to stop you by hitting your stick. Okay? But you're not accomplishing anything if you do this. All right? Stay right there. Don't move. This person should be doing that. Okay? And then he moves in and blocks it like that and checks. Okay? He's checking it because if you notice how when he hit, his stick slides off, don't check. And when it slides off, my stick's going to come right on through and hit him. So he's checking it with his hand to keep that from happening. Okay? So again. So that's a 1. A 2, he's going to move in this direction. okay? Bring it back to that static position, so do it again. 2, nope, bring it back to here. Do a 2 with me. See how I brought it back to here? So do that, okay? Ready? There you go, okay? That's the 2, all right? The 3, he's gonna block a 3 with the 1, right? We both can't do a 3, so real slow. If he does a 3 and I do a 3, you see what happens? So somebody's weapon's gotta be on an angle to intersect. So if I'm attacking with a 3, he's gonna block it with a 1. Okay, because now his was on an angle. And then the same thing, if I do a 4, he's gonna do a 2. And it comes right back to there. And then the next progression is you learn to do block, check, counter strike. Okay? And the rules for that is he does a 1, right? I come in here and block, check. The first strike I make is going to be to his hand. All right? So in this instance, I'm probably going to do this. Bam. I'm going to hit it on his knee. Boom. And hit him in his solar plexus with the butt end of it. So the first strike needs to be to whatever hand is holding the weapon, the hand or the arm somewhere. And you want to do 3 to 5 counter strikes, right? When you hit with this thing, you're only hitting with the end of it. You're not trying to hit down in this area. All the power is out here on the end, right? And I don't want you to chop wood, okay? So chopping wood is to stand there. This is chopping wood, right? You don't want to do that. You want to hit and slide off, right? It's to stand there, okay? So I'm coming in here and I'm hitting him in the head, right? Now I'm hitting him in his knee. I'm hitting him in his elbow. I'm hitting him back in the head. Boom, I just hit him on both sides of his head, okay? So you want it to flow. You want to hit him 5, 6 times in a second, right? Before he knows what even happened. You're going to hit him a bunch of times, all right? The hitting part, you want to do that mainly like to the head and to the extremities, right? You know, his arm, his elbow, his wrist, his hand, right? If he's got his leg out here, you can hit his leg, all right? That's what the hitting part is going to be the most effective on. Raise your arm up. If I hit him in the body like that, it's gonna hurt, but it's probably not going to do any damage with as light a weight as the stick is, okay? It's going to hurt, but it's not going to do that much damage. Whereas if I'm hitting like this, this will crack bones and break bones, okay? So to the body, that's what I use these types of strikes for, because they're going to penetrate, right? You can even damage organs, right? You've heard of kids riding a bicycle and wreck their bicycle, and the handle of the bicycle hit their body and like damage their spleen or, you know, different things. So that's what you can do by poking with the end of it, okay? So you hit that, come up that way with that, come in this way with this front end. It can be there, it can be in, you know, into the neck, into the eye. So that's what you use this for, okay? Yeah, so this is the 9, and this is the 10, right? The 9 looks strange, like, you know, how would you use that, right? So if one thing can be, if he's got his weapon up, you're coming around his guard and getting in there. And then another thing you use it for is to get into position to do a disarm, okay? So if he does a 1, and I do a 1, I do this. Now I got both sticks in my hand, and how did I get into that position? I did this, which is that same movement, right? So I went block, check, okay? I hit, came to there, and I punch up here and pull down there and use that leverage to get it out of his hand. But I got there by doing that movement, okay?